Yeah, so, we're here talking about, hey, welcome to Constructive Talks. I'm here with an amazing lady, my cousin, Miss Adams, looking all cool, and we working out a little bit.
Just a little bit.
But we wanted to talk about, something that's dear to our hearts and to giving to the communities. Mm-hmm. Kind of like, we talking about the elderly and the homeless. And I'm going to ask you this question. Why should we even care about the elderly or homeless or hungry, however it is, because a lot of folks are not eating right?
Yeah.
Why is it important to have that passion to give back?
I would say it's important because you're human. I mean, if you're not human and you don't want to help someone that's hurting or hungry or struggling, I would say it doesn't necessarily make you a monster, but it makes you inhuman. Mm-hmm. It's like, how can you watch someone starve? And I think it's important to be, I would say, humane.
Be caring, have empathy.
Empathy,
right?
That's the thing that's important. If you don't have empathy for the people in your community and family, and it could be any amount of things, but I mean, it's important to love one another. I mean, I'm not going to go on some
go on anything you want to, because that's one of the things we do at Constructive Talk. You just speak your mind with good intentions.
Yes. I mean, we have to love one another, especially in the world today. The world today is kind of scary,
What do you mean by that?
When I say I went to the grocery store yesterday and I was unfortunately buying eggs.
Oh, God. No.
And I swear, I normally don't buy the store brand eggs. Mm-hmm. But the store brand eggs was $6.19.
Ooh, I remember them things were like $1 and something, the jumbos.
Yes. I mean, so people can't hardly feed their families.
Of basic things, it was always basic. Growing up, it was bread, milk, eggs. That was the basic three staples of, if you get that always stayed in the refrigerator, and they were always affordable enough to where you didn't have to worry about anything, and it was always good, right?
Yes. And back to that, you could get all that. You could get a meal for under $20.
For a family.
For a family, some ground beef, some tomato sauce, and some noodles for under $20.
Yeah. Have some good old spaghetti.
Easy.
Yeah.
But now you go get bread, milk, and eggs. You spending $20
for three things. That's not even a meal. Hold on now.
You can make you an egg sandwich.
Yeah, you can make and drink some milk, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying that it's not even a real, like you said a minute ago, spaghetti. You can get the bread, you can get the noodles, you can get probably some, some sauce.
And ground beef.
And the ground beef, yeah. But one of the things I say is that a lot of things that happen in this country is not happening in other countries.
No.
And I think one of the things is because businesses take advantage of capitalism in America, and man, it's like they all go in unison. So one store will do it, and then everybody will do it.
Yeah.
It's not like that one staple store that's not going to do it. I'm not raising my prices. Why? Because the whole supply chain gets affected.
Yeah.
And it's difficult, and you don't want to go out of business. But is it fair, right?
It's not fair to the consumer.
It's not fair to being a part of a nation.
Yeah.
To benefit off the people of the nation with money. And okay, we talking eggs, and we see the initial conversation started when we were talking about
hunger,
the hungry, the homeless, and the elderly.
Yeah.
So think about this. If I'm in the world's strongest, richest country, are those $6 eggs making it stronger?
No.
Or is it just, padding the pockets of folks? Are those $6 eggs helping me get health care?
No.
Or is it just padding the pocket? Because I know for a fact, and I've done my research, and everybody do your research, right? Do your research. Eggs are not $6 all over the world.
No.
I seen some stuff and did some research. In Mexico, they paying $1 and something for a dozen eggs. Right now. So I say to you is it that America is taking advantage not only of the citizens, but allowing the rest of the world to take advantage of the citizens too, because this is where the money is.
Yeah.
The money is in America, where it's consistently 400 million people. Hold on now. 400 million people. And 400 million people brings the world profit. Think about that. So now it's billions of people overseas. Billions. In India, billions. China, billions. But how much can you take from 400 million people? How much are we gonna just... Okay, I know I'm thinking out loud right now, but how can you even have wealth, right? How can you have the American dream? Let's get closer. How can you even have the American dream when the prices are like they are and everything is expensive and it's tolerated? Now, I'm not talking about, any president or government can make any kind of decisions they want. I'm talking about allowing businesses to take from the American people's pocket that hard-earned money you talked about when you worked at McDonald's. You can't just work at you can just work at McDonald's, but working at McDonald's at the junior level and then trying to achieve the American dream, that's difficult.
It's impossible.
Right? Yeah. One of the things I say is, here, you take the phone for a second. You can talk.
It's impossible. It's like, you have people out here, and it's really sad because a lot of these people worked in these mills all their lives and they barely get any Social Security. But if you get $1,200 a month in Social Security and you are on Medicare, Medicaid, with the prices of medication, you can't feed yourself, basically. Yeah, and this is something I know because, like I said, I work with elderly people, and they're having to go to food banks and stand in line, and it's really a sad situation because when they try to go get benefits like SNAP, they want to give them $40 a month. What can you do with $40 a month in groceries? I mean, you have veterans out here that's homeless. People that fought in wars for our freedom and freedom of the world. They homeless because they can't afford to pay $800 a month for a 1-bedroom apartment. And that's sad. They're building housing and calling it affordable housing.
At 200,000. 300,000. Okay.
300,000 to purchase a house, but not even just that. I know apartment complexes where 3 years ago a 2-bedroom was $900. You go look now, that same 2-bedroom apartment is $1,200, maybe even $1,400. Why? What changed about that apartment complex that now it's $1,400 for a 2-bedroom apartment that 3 years ago was $900?
Well, it goes in kind of what we were talking about is that businesses, the supply line they increased the prices, and it really jumped after COVID or during COVID, and it never went back.
Yeah.
Why hasn't it gone back? Because people getting richer.
Yeah, greedy.
They getting richer off of it because everybody said, "Hey, let's increase the prices now of everything." Why? Because we can.
Because Americans are dying from COVID and suffering.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to increase the prices so they can suffer some more.
And that's what they said back then. And now the prices never rebounded.
Never.
And the wages definitely didn't go up like it should to match inflation or anything else.
Nope.
So that's what we're talking about. We're sitting here talking about, me and my cousin, we're talking about the elderly, the homeless, the hungry, and how when people are passionate to care about those folks, when we go out there and we give and we work from a passion, we know what they're up against. Like she just said, she's been working with the elderly for a minute, and she's a real high-speed professional. When they give them $40 in food stamps, SNAP benefits, and eggs are $6,
and that's supposed to last
that's
a month.
insulting.
That's insulting. That's it. And I'm not trying to be negative, but you have people out here that don't work, have multiple children, and they get $1,000 a month in SNAP. Why? They haven't contributed to the economy. They haven't did anything other than have kids. Why are they getting $1,200 a month in SNAP, and someone that's done work for 40 years at the mill is only getting $40 in SNAP and $1,200 a month in Social Security?
So we say the system needs to verify folks a little more.
Yes.
Now I've been an advocate for work for benefits since I first heard it. I'm a soldier, retired. Mm-hmm. So I had to work for mine, and a lot of folks work for theirs. Yep. And I'm not, rating what kind of job you have, but to get a benefit, I think you should give a service. You should give something.
You should contribute
some labor,
to society.
Right? Even if it's in your community, keep the community clean. The city should come up with a program. If you get benefits, hey, guess what? Everybody's meeting over here at this housing complex, and we're going to clean it up. We're going to paint it up. That was this week's or this month's project. Mm-hmm. And that justifies getting the benefit. Because one thing I've noticed is that I remember back when, they had Section 8 housing and different things, and those were prideful places to be in. I'm sorry, you raised generations in those.
Yeah.
But it's actually gone to the point to now where it's not a positive environment.
No, it's not safe.
Right?
It's not safe.
And people go there and I don't know. And everybody, you can do a little research on this. But sometimes people go there because they know that's going to get them the best benefit at that housing complex. Mm-hmm. Like, hey, if I live here, that's where you get the max benefit at.
Yeah.
Because of the zip code. Right? True,
but and then you gotta also think about what situation you putting your family into. So
okay,
I mean I've I've lived in public housing, but fortunately at the time it was a nice clean place. They had just cleaned it up and cleaned it out, and at the time I had just had my second son, so I needed that.
It was perfect.
Yeah. So when I did get back on my feet, I moved.
Yeah.
I moved in because somebody else needed that.
Yeah, somebody else needed to come in there and let it be that. I'm gonna call it
a come up.
We were thinking the same thing. A come up. You see that? But it be that thing where, hey, I need this only for a moment because I'm a contributor. I'm gonna work hard because I don't want to have to take something from what somebody else might need.
That's right.
Right? Say somebody else might need this place. Like she just said, she wanted to move out because somebody else might have needed it. And that's what it's all about, is that, hey, if we contribute in the communities we live in, it'll be better. But I think that the nation need to really look at itself and say, man, are we taking more from our citizens than we should? $6 eggs. Hey, there you go. So we're going to end this live now. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you. Y'all take it easy.